Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing the RX 5700 XT in GTA 5 because for some reason I totally forgot to do it earlier. I told many of you guys that I'd do it, but I forgot. I'm so sorry, okay? But here we are anyways. This is the PowerColor version, dual fan. It's not the Red Dragon, it's not the reference cooler. It just sits in the middle and has no model name for some reason. I'm running it with the Ryzen 7 3700X and 16 gigs of RAM, dual channel 3200 MHz CL14, and this is actually a problem because with these specs and at 1080p resolution at least, I actually had to lock our frame rates to 170 because otherwise if this game hits 180 FPS plus, you will get some stutters here and there. So that's kind of a bummer, I know, but it's just how this engine runs. Starting off at 1080p, I'm also going to be testing of course 1440p as well as 4K or 2160p. These are the settings that we're using right now. I'm actually gonna do a couple of runs at each resolution using MSAA at 4x and disabled as well, because some people actually play without MSAA on, like me, but other people, at least from what I've seen in the comments, they do like some MSAA in their GTA 5 game. So yeah, everything else over here is pretty much maxed out except for the soft shadows, which are at softest instead of AMD CHS. I don't really think it makes a difference anyways. And the post effects settings, which are at the normal settings instead of ultra, because on ultra, even though this slider over here is set to the minimum, it has some motion blur anyways, and I don't like it, so I'm just setting it to normal. And yeah, over here everything's maxed out. Advanced settings are all turned off because these are really intensive, and I don't really recommend you to use those if you want higher FPS, you know. Anyways guys, here we go. Let's start counting our FPS. Of course we would be getting like 180 or 190 over here instead of 170, but it will stutter, so yeah, again I just lock it to 170, but that shouldn't really be an issue with the 1440p resolution or with some MSAA anti-aliasing. And right now, as we are driving through the city, we are seeing of course a CPU bottleneck, so our FPS are down into the 120s, 130s, so while you're driving you wouldn't actually have any issues with those stutters, but when you actually stop you will see some stuttering issues, of course, which are really inevitable because the engine is the culprit here, not really the GPU or the specs. Yeah, it's just GTA 5. I think when it launched, they never thought that this game would reach 180 something FPS, so I don't know. But anyways, this is more of a CPU intensive area again, as I usually say, because I like to keep my benchmarks like a little bit of CPU intensive. Oh, and we still got a stutter there, so that's very interesting. Okay, so at this point I actually recommend you to just lock your frames to whatever your refresh rate is, like 144, 165 maybe 150 is a good like balance, you know, so you can avoid those little stutters, because yeah, whenever the frames are high here in GTA 5 you will see those, and those are very noticeable as you saw, and very stupid, because yeah, it's just stupid, you know. But anyways, we are in the most GPU intensive area of the benchmark run, which is this area with lots of vegetation and stuff like that, and we're still seeing a CPU bottleneck over here. So the 5700 XT still has a little bit of fuel left in the tank to run GTA 5 with above like 150 FPS if you had something like an i9-9900K or an i7-8700K and overclock that, or even like an i5-10600K. So yeah, keep that in mind, but you will want to lock it at 150 FPS anyway, so that just defeats the purpose of having a very good CPU, because the game just starts stuttering with it. I would say, guys, that it's a good problem to have, those stutters caused by high frames. So yeah, and it's a very easy fix, you just have to lock your frames. So okay, anyways guys, we got 132 FPS on average and 98 1% lows. Of course our 1% lows were affected by that huge stutter that we saw. If it wasn't for that, they would be probably at like 110, 105 maybe. 1080p resolution, 4 times MSAA. We're still using some FXAA because it doesn't really matter to your FPS, and it makes things a little bit more smooth. And everything else over here is still the same, obviously. Advanced settings are still disabled as well. And okay, here we go. Let's start counting our FPS. The GPU usage is finally maxed out, so we're not CPU bound anymore. As of now, maybe we are gonna be CPU bound a little bit when we just run through the city and through the crowds by the B. I'm not gonna say that word because as every single time I say that word, that place with sand and water, people just say I say the other word, which is a very nice girl that's in a corner usually. So yeah, I'm not gonna say it. It's probably my accent, you know, and I end up saying what I don't want to say, and YouTube just penalizes me a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna avoid that. We can see already that our GPU usage is not pegged at 99% usage, so it's in the 80s, so we're still CPU bound while driving our car fast through the city, but it's still a very high refresh rate experience, you know, 130 FPS. It's a very smooth experience. Of course, I'm running a 60 Hz monitor because right now I don't have my high refresh rate monitor available. I actually ordered a new one because my other one was 1080p, and I just can't really edit at 1080p, so I gotta use this one. Oh god damn it, dude, this is not good. Just shut up, people. Everybody's swearing. God damn it. Alright, anyways, over here we're still CPU bound, of course. This is very demanding. Like, GTA 5 only needs a quad core to run properly, by the way. If you have a fast, like a 7700K, you will kind of see pretty much the same FPS as we're seeing right now, especially if you overclock that. So yeah, you don't really need an 8-core CPU or a 6-core CPU. It won't really benefit from that at all. And over here, this is a very demanding area, especially with anti-aliasing enabled, MSAA, because you have to put on some MSAA anti-aliasing in every single piece of grass, and it's just really intensive, and it shows right now. We are in the 80s and 70s, and before we were actually in the like 130s, 150s even, and the GPU wasn't even maxed out. But yeah, I don't think that vegetation here in GTA is that well optimized, and that's why we see such a huge drop whenever we approach vegetation. But of course the 5700 XT can still run it absolutely fine. Like, this is a really strong GPU. It's comparable to the 2070 Super, maybe a little bit slower actually, but yeah, it has no problems playing at 1080p. If you have a 1080p monitor, or if you want to play at 1080p with, for example, a 4K monitor for some reason, you can rest assured that even if you enable that MSAA anti-aliasing, the game's gonna look very good, and of course it's gonna run perfectly fine. Alright guys, so 1080p is done, my friends. Pretty good results coming from this GPU. And here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are now playing at the 2560 by 1440 resolution, so 1440p obviously, without MSAA anti-aliasing to start off. And as you can see, still the same settings on the highest settings except for the shadows and post effects settings, and the advanced settings of course are disabled. Oh gosh, I said settings like 4 times in a 10-word sentence, so yeah, I'm not proud of that. Anyways, I should start counting our FPS over here, and it actually reaches 170 FPS, as you can see right there. So if you have a 1440p monitor, and you should have it with a GPU like the 5700 XT, I definitely recommend a high refresh rate 1440p monitor to go with it. You can definitely run it here in GTA 5. The 5700 XT is not even maxed out as of now. It is still getting like 120, 130 FPS while running through the city with the car once again. So we are still CPU bound at this resolution and with these settings. So this is amazing again. Oh my god, of course that happened. This every time, guys. God damn it. Well, not really every time. Sometimes I have flawless runs through the city, but not today. It seems like the 5700 XT doesn't really give me luck. If you are after a high refresh rate experience in GTA 5, yeah, you can still have it at this resolution. It's perfectly fine. It looks good and crispy. I'm running a 1440p 27-inch monitor, so the PPI is pretty good at 109, and the game, I would say that it doesn't really need any anti-aliasing aside from FXAA here in this resolution. God damn it, guys, why don't you just move? You know, just move to the side instead of standing there. Gosh. This happens every single time. They should have got used to it already, you know? Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Hopefully I don't die. Sometimes I actually die doing this. I think I did die with... okay. Yeah, you don't know that. It's tomorrow's video, actually. I have a very nice video tomorrow, guys, for you. It's kind of like the GTX Titan, but with another GPU, so testing like 12 games. It's gonna be fun. Stick out, please, for that. And as you can see here in this area, of course, this is very, very demanding, and it still looks good. I would say that it looks better than 1080p with 4 times MSAA, especially on a 1440p monitor. So, yeah, you can still have a pretty decent experience here with the 5700 XT at this resolution. Oh, hi, Jack! I totally forgot about you, you know? Oh, no! Oh, God, oh, God. I didn't mean to do that! How did you die so fast with the car? Oh god. Okay, I just killed Jack, so just gonna get out of the car. Yep, I don't like you, car. You killed Jack. You are the worst car ever. Alright, buddy, I avenged you. Okay, I'm gonna die. Let me get out of here. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Oh boy, I'm just gonna spawn a motorcycle right now, okay? Rocket. We got a little stutter when I was going into the console thingy or whatever, so our 1% lows got a little bit affected by that, but here we go. Okay, I just wanted to see our FPS in this area right here because it's even more demanding than the other area where we were just at. So, anyways, it's still like an above 100 FPS experience pretty much at all times with these specs. And if you have something like a Ryzen 5 3600 or Ryzen 3 3300X, it will run absolutely the same because, as I told you, this game only utilizes 4 cores. Okay, my beautiful friends, we are now here at the 1440p resolution with 4 times MSAA enabled, as you can see right there, 4x MSAA. So this is gonna be really GPU intensive at this resolution, especially. Still the same settings, obviously. Still everything off over here, and let's start counting our FPS once again. So we're in the 100s right now. I think this is kind of the same as the RX 570 at 1080p, if I'm not mistaken, with 2 times MSAA. I think these are the FPS that we got with that comparison that I made that has like 1 point something million views or whatever it is with the RX 570 versus the 1650. And yeah, maybe this is a little bit better than that actually. We are now fully GPU bound even while driving the car here. So, oh god damn it, can you please stop? Just, oh my god. I'm gonna try to drive a little bit faster right now so we can make it a bit more CPU bound if we can, but I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna happen because we are in the 80s to 90s and we have already seen that the CPU can do like 120, 130 FPS here. Oh my god, people just keep getting in front of me. Don't you know that I go through here every single time? Oh my, these NPCs just, they don't evolve. Get out of the way, please. Get out of the... I don't care. I don't care anymore. Yeah, these are just pixels, remember? Oh my god. Okay, that's a first. That never happened here in the benchmark of mine. Alright. Let's move 100 plus right here, of course. This is not very demanding at all. Like, there's not many things for the GPU to render in this area, so okay, please don't... oh my god, sometimes it actually explodes when I just land like that. So alright, everything is fine though. We're good. We're approaching the most demanding area of our benchmark run. Will it drop from 60? It will. Okay, that's underwhelming. So if you want to use MSAA at 1440p, maybe just use 2 times because it might be above 60. Hello, Jack. How you doing? Can you please talk to me? Talk to me, buddy. Ah, yeah, there he goes. Alright, guys, so unfortunately it drops into the 50s and 40s too often here in these areas, so I don't really recommend these settings unless you really are after that maximum visual fidelity, you know, almost maximum, because of course we're not really using any advanced graphics settings. What the hell are you doing? The experience is still a good one here at these settings. And now, my friends, for the infamous 4K resolution 3840 by 2160. For some reason it set my refresh rate to 144 right now. Okay, then I can't change it. Alright, I'm just gonna have to deal with a flickering monitor because my monitor is broken and high refresh rates. But anyways, here we are, very high settings, still the same stuff, of course, with no anti-aliasing right now except for MSAA. And yeah, over here, if you don't go into vegetation areas, forest areas, you know, it's not going to be a bad experience. It's going to be a 60-ish FPS experience, even more than that right now. So this is really impressive, you know. 8 million pixels to push. So this is not an easy thing to do, you know. Oh my god, come on. Couldn't you go on the right, please? Why? Why do you have to keep going in front of me? Gosh. You get out of here. I don't care about you. Let's go. Let's keep on moving here. The crisp is done with the peoples of GTA. He's just gonna get everybody. Obviously, we are GPU bound at the 4K resolution. There's no questions about that. It's a very hard resolution to run. You could even run, for example, 4th Gen i5 and get these same frames because the 4K resolution is so GPU demanding. And so far, so good. It actually stood above 60 FPS for the entire time there. Come on, just don't. Why do you jump, car? Why? Everything is good. Okay, cops are after me, but that's alright. Oh, God damn it. You know what? I actually like the lower settings sometimes because these pillars are not here at the lower settings, which is very interesting. And I wonder if they are not there as well if you play GTA Online, because that's actually an advantage if they aren't there. But anyways, 80 FPS around here. We still haven't dropped from 60. What? Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Everything is all right. I am fine. My car is not fine though. What the hell is that? Look at that front. I have no door. My tires are probably all messed up. Yeah, that one is a little bit tilted, or both of them are. I don't know, but let's keep on moving here, guys. And wow, this is actually impressive. I was kind of expecting like a 1440p, 4x MSAA the frame rates here. Hi, Jack. How you doing? Talk to me, buddy. Come on. Come on. Jack doesn't want to. He's mad at me. Jack, come on. Oh, there you go. Okay, good boy. This is impressive, to be honest. If you want to play in your TV or something with your 5700 XT at 4K resolution, or even if you have a 60 Hz 4K panel, yeah, GTA will run absolutely fine. Like, it only drops into the low 50s, which is not really a big deal. 40s is kind of very noticeable. 50s, not that much. It's okay. It's noticeable, but I would say it's perfectly playable, obviously. Even at 30 FPS, this game's playable, to be honest, unless you want to play online and you really want 60 plus all of the time. And now, my friends, for the ultimate test, and I don't really recommend you to play like this because there's no real point in my opinion. We got 2160p 4K with 4 times MSAA anti-aliasing, so... Oh boy, okay, everything's still the same, obviously. Let's do this and start counting our FPS. So, okay, here we go. Yep, I was definitely expecting that, like 30s. It's not a very good experience anymore. Of course, it's still playable. Gosh, don't swear, Michael. It's just a car. As I was saying, guys, it's still a 30 plus FPS experience, at least around here. So if you lock it at 30 FPS and you want to play with a controller or something, it's gonna be... How does this... What? Why? Yeah, if you want to have a console experience, basically, it's still doable, I guess. We're still hitting like 50 over here, which is insane to think of. This is a massive tax on your GPU, to be honest, guys. So it's really, really intensive, okay? I was really expecting like 30, flat 30 or 35 FPS on average, something like that, because this is 4K with MSAA enabled, so yeah, it's just, wow, okay then. I was gonna say, goddamn enough, I can't even finish my sentence, I don't care anymore, I just forget what I was going to say. Get out of the way, just don't, yeah, sure, just go, get in front of the goddamn car. Alright, are you happy now? Are you happy? Just, goddamn it. Oh my god. Alright, let's go, guys. Let's keep on moving. Nothing happened there. Alright, everything was good. And I didn't really shoot anybody. Yep. Oh, please don't explode. Okay. Well, oh. Of course I had to hit another person. But... Alright guys, here we go. Look at our VRAM usage though, it's more than our RAM utilization right now. Interesting. What are you doing with sandals and socks? Are you Linus? It's Linus! What the hell? Yeah, it's not playable anymore in this area at least, so it drops into the low 20s. It's really bad, okay, I don't recommend it. This is why I don't recommend 4K with anti-aliasing here in GTA, at least with the 5700 XT. What the heck? Okay, everything's alright. Yeah, over here we're back to the 50s, so the game is just very inconsistent whenever you get into a forest area, so otherwise it would actually be perfectly playable here, but it's not because it drops into the low 20s, 22 FPS, 1% lows right there. That's been it for the GTA 5 video in the RX 5700 XT. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep tuned in because tomorrow's video is gonna be a big one. I actually spent like 6 hours or 5 hours recording it, and now I gotta edit it for another like 6, so it's gonna be fun. Please keep tuned in and watch that. That said, thank you so much for watching once again, and as always, I love you all. Bye-bye.